after the break, a much-needed reset. The players were talking about it after that defeat against San Diego, and then also thinking about what happened to Levi Stadium last year. Is it sort of like a redemption, and then because of what's at stake also in the standings?
I've already forgotten last year and last week or 2 weeks ago. We have reviewed the San Diego game. It was I felt really bad for the players. They actually played very well, implemented exactly what we wanted. I think if you play that game 10 times, you're going to win a lot of them. We're just really unlucky not to win that game. So I was really happy with the performance and proud of the effort the guys put in. Just gutted for them that they weren't rewarded for their hard work. But that's sports, and the mistake would be to stop working hard and to stop playing in that same way. And so we are going to keep going for sure and try to win every game we play.
What did you think of Sonny's performance against the U.S. and Mexico?
I did not watch the Mexico match against Korea. I saw the U.S. game. I thought he played very well. Yeah, he's welcome to continue to score goals for us too.
Steve, by the numbers, San Jose is pretty opportunistic in high turnovers. You'd think that would mean that their press is pretty good, but they're generally not a real pressing side. You played that game against San Diego. You play against a team that has a much more systematic approach to that. How do you see San Jose setting up their press, and how do you see your solutions for the way you do it differently?
Well, it's kind of a transition and a transition moment, and because of the players they have, Martinez, Arango, Espinoza, Judd, and both wingbacks getting involved in the offensive portion of the field, they are a plethora of experience at sniffing out moments and plays. And they put themselves into positions where they can concede chances, but because of that, they're also in really good spots when the ball turns over again. So if we are not careful in transition after the ball turns over and we have the ball, if we are silly and a little erratic with our attacks, then we can be punished. And I think this is what San Jose does to a lot of teams. They have an unorthodox formation when it comes to transition moments. They're very central, very good technically in combination play, and always attacking the depth with one of those players up top. So if you're not careful, a transition for you turns into a transition against you. And that has to do with us knowing what their strength is and what their habits are and behaviors, and we're ready for it, we're prepared for it. It was not dissimilar against San Diego, who always is a threat in transition as they scored their second goal. And we had mostly under control for the 90 minutes, just fell asleep on one play.
Anything else in person? Derek?
Coach, you just said you've seen the Sonny's match against the United States, and how do you plan to incorporate his outstanding performance at that game into LAFC's tactical approach?
The same as the last couple of weeks. I think his performances with us have also been very good. We as a team have had good performances. We've scored goals. We haven't conceded too many chances. We just haven't won every game we've played, but I've been very pleased with our performances, and Sonny's as well. And so for me, it's more of the same. No changes necessary.
And not just Sonny, Denis and Nathan have played the recent international matches as well, and their LAFC matches. So how's the team managing their conditioning recovery?
Yeah, we've thankfully have a lot of international players and players who represent their nations. And so we've gone through this many times prior to and have a good idea of what travel takes out of players. We also know players and what they can handle, what they cannot handle. And so we'll never put a player in a position to hurt himself. We always put players in positions to succeed for themselves and for the team, and ultimately for LAFC. So, it's a combination of knowing the athletes, understanding their travel schedules, and understanding what it takes to win an away game in an MLS stadium. And all of those factors go into consideration when we develop a starting 11 and match plan.
All right, Jen Alexander.
Hey, Coach. Been a lot of roster changes last few weeks, Sonny aside. I mean, you had Maxime retired, then you had Igor's injury, then the incoming players too. do you have an individual plan for each player now that's sort of coming into the roster? You mentioned Andy right now, but the other guys, when they finally get in here, is there going to be an individual plan for each one of them? And is there still enough time to incorporate them in the season with the season sort of running out of time? Or is it going to be a week-to-week basis sort of thing for you?
No, every player is different. Every player has a different base they go off of. You look at the minutes played in the previous season, in the current season, where they are physically, their injury history, age, style of play. So there's a number of factors we look at. And so, yes, to answer your question, it is always individual. As far as onboarding new players and getting them in line with LAFC's way of playing, there we have a process in place that seems to be very effective, where we don't need a lot of time, a couple days. And we've had good success with having players understanding our model and fitting in right away. We also get ahead of the curve and only scout players who we think potentially would fit our model, so that takes a lot of the guessing work out of it. It's a combination of the player getting here as soon as possible, having a good attitude, and making the most out of every training session we have, which in our congested schedule we don't normally have a lot of time on the field with the players. And then also, us doing our due diligence and creating a pathway for a player to join as soon as possible. And again, putting the player in a position to succeed, meaning he has the proper fitness and readiness to help us in a game at this stage in the season.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
So, Sonny, Denis, Nathan, Mathieu, those who just finished the international matches, do you plan to put them in the starting line for the upcoming game?
I'll keep that for me, the starting 11. And Nathan Ordaz will not be available for us. He's picked up an injury on the international window.
All right, we'll finish up with Rodrigo over Zoom.
Hey, Coach. Thank you for your time. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Nathan. We saw he got subbed in the 41st minute against Suriname. Is there anything serious going on? And he only played 45 minutes against Guatemala, too.
No, nothing serious. Just won't be ready for Saturday's match.
I think we're going to face a hard opponent, especially at Levi's. We've been struggling the last 2 years, so it's a very important game for us also to show that we can win there. They are fighting for playoffs. We are fighting for playoffs too. Like I said, it's going to be an intense game. Both teams want to win it for sure, and I think it's going to be an entertaining one.
Hey, Jimmy. Obviously, the week off came at an interesting time where you guys are coming off a loss, and usually you want to get back to the next game as quick as possible after a loss. Was getting this time off this late in the year, was that a positive that you felt that you needed personally and as a team? And what did you sort of do with that week off personally? How did you use it for yourself?
So in general, I think it's always good to have some kind of reset, recovery time. And I think we all took advantage of that. What was the second part again? Sorry.
It was that getting back to, usually after a loss you want to get as quick as possible. But was that now with that break sort of in between, did that help or sort of maybe hinder that?
Yeah, the break in general, or I would say the last weeks in general, where we had longer time periods in between games, have been helping us too, because we were actually able to work hard in training and practice on a lot of things that we needed to practice on. It helped us just feeling prepared for the last stretch of the season. And then for me personally, I used it to get some days off, spent them in Mexico and enjoyed my time there, and then came back here and did some rehab and got back on the field with the team.